Okay, so I have the coveted final position of the day. That's great. There's two things I want you to know about Lloyds Register, which we are not. We're not a bank, okay, and we're not an insurance company. What we are is we're a certification, because that's what I get asked all the time, right? But and it should be our tagline. But what we are is we're a classification and certification society, and we have a large consulting organization as well. So what we do is we issue certificates of compliance against various standards that are required to operate vessels around the world. And at the moment, one of the reasons I'm talking to you here today is that Lloyds Register is working with the Canadian Navy, putting in place a regulatory regime for the Canadian combatant vessels. Those are the Canadian patrol frigates and the new Canadian service combatants. So all those are brought into class. So all the material, all of the material and all the equipment that goes on them has to be certified by Lloyds Register or another classification society with an equivalent certification scheme. So that's very important for anyone who's developing products that they want to see put into large vessels operating in international waters like cruise ships, standard cargo vessels, container ships, and increasingly naval vessels. Really quickly on what U.S. certification, there's type approvals, which are when there is a statutory requirement by an international body or a national body like the U.S. Coast Guard or Transport Canada. And then there's the MEC, Materials, Equipment, and Component Certification, which is what's required if you have a vessel that's under a class regime. And then there's, when those regulations or standards don't exist, we also have a process called technology qualification, which is used in new technologies, and we're increasingly seeing this as new technologies are brought into the marketplace. We have this process for going through and certifying that they've been developed according to proper testing procedures. And we're working with a company, one example of that is a company in Newfoundland called Copsys that's developing an innovative corrosion detection system. I'm just going to talk quickly about two big things that are affecting the marine business that we're involved in, and one is the decarbonization of shipping, which was mentioned previously. We're working with companies that are developing systems for reducing fuel emissions, greenhouse gas emissions, and we're working with the operators who are installing those to ensure that they are installed properly so they don't affect the safe operation of the ships and that the operators achieve those efficiency improvements that they're looking for. We're working, another example of that is we're working locally here with Graphene Innovations Technologies and their graphene coating for ships. And we've worked with them on several projects, and we've type approved their paint for use, their coating for use on vessels. Sorry, keeping the wrong key. The other thing is digitalization. Everybody's putting everything on the cloud, they're digitizing. And increasingly we're seeing the use of models combined with sensor data as ways of representing the physical state of a piece of equipment on a ship. So, and using that instead of taking it apart and inspecting for its condition or doing other types of standard processes, using a model. So we developed our certification people have developed a system for appraising the development, the implementation, and the testing of those models so they can be seen as being certified as fit for purpose to use instead of doing a physical inspection. And that's something that we have what we call the AI registry on our webpage, where you can go and see the companies that we've already certified for developing models and those which have actually developed digital twin models. So when you hear the term digital twin, this is what we think of as a digital twin. It's not just something that looks nice or is a simulation, it's an actual physical analog. It's a computer analog to something physical. And very quickly, we're also a consulting company. I work for the Applied Technology Group, which is here in Halifax, about 30 people. And we work in collaboration with colleagues around the world, delivering a range of services to companies that are operating in the marine space. Okay. Only 15 seconds over. Yeah. Oh, can I just add one thing? Yes. We are a for-profit organization, but we are owned by a not-for-profit foundation. So if you're an academic, please check out the Lloyds Register Foundation. They offer grants to engineering and safety research, and they currently have a small grants program that's still open. So keep checking back there if you're in academia. Thanks.